Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another review on a FUT Freeze card. This will be Robin Gosens, the German centre-back from Atalanta. We're going to do a review on this card. We're going to go through his details, his attributes, his traits, as well as our clips and our usual summary. But before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card if you have used him yet. So, getting into the review, Robin Gosen, 6 foot tall, medium high work rates, left footed, 3-star skill moves and 3-star weak foot. I got him in my FUT party bag, which was a choice of not a choice, sorry, you get an option of a freeze card or a road to the final card or a bunch of other options in there. I got Gosens out of it, so I thought why not do a review on him. He strictly played in centre back for me, guys, in a 4-2-3-1, as you guys saw here. He played there under Schweinsteiger next to Campbell, so a good solid defence around him. And he played in a wide centre back position in a 3-5-2 just to test him out, see how he played in both situations. I will say, guys, I preferred him in the 3-5-2. I thought his speed and capability in terms of his overall skill set suited him more there, but we'll get more into that as we go through some of his clips. Going into his details, he is a centre-back from Germany who plays in Serie A for Atalanta, so you've got a lot of good links in there that you could put together. I put a shadow on him to boost his pace and defending. You can see neither of those is really high right now. For a centre back, he's got very good dribbling, he's got very good pace, his physicality is reasonable, doesn't need to be much higher. He's got a good height so he can win a lot of headers. So I wanted to boost that pace and defending to give him a better chance against some of those more elite strikers, and boy did it help. You'll see in some of the clips that he got, he was absolutely fantastic for me in that centre back position. Getting into some of his attributes, of course, his pace is fantastic. The standout stats for this card, guys, is his jumping. 96 jumping, gets up in the air a lot, wins a lot of headers. His aggression is high, his stamina is high, so his physicality is really one big part of this card. His strength isn't so high, which maybe made me feel like he suited a 3-5-2 more than a 4-2-3-1, because then he wasn't playing 1v1 versus a striker. He was more against a winger or against a more slight player. His passing, of course, is very good as well, and for a centre back that is absolutely great, and his dribbling is pretty reasonable as well. His agility says 74. That doesn't feel like that. It feels a little bit higher, maybe because the rest of his dribbling is so good. You can really bring the ball out of defence quite easily with him and go on some marauding runs, get your strikers in, stuff like that. Now, guys, another thing I was brought to my attention was that I was showing you guys shooting clips and attacking clips of defenders, and I know I absolutely hate that. So there will be more defensive clips of Gosens in this review. If that's not something you're into, then please let me know, but hopefully it is better for you guys to see how this card played for me. Finally, the traits. He's got the early crosser trait, not really much use for me. I used him in centre back and he rarely left that slot there. And long shot taker again, I didn't take many shots with him. I just let him do his centre back thing, pass the ball off to midfielders and keep it simple with him there. Now that we've gone through the player details, let's get into some of the clips that I've got with him. So guys, just getting to some of Gosen's clips now. Mostly what I've done on these clips is to show you guys the defending that I had with him. He actually had some really great moments, guys. Generally, because he was so fast and big, he's reasonably strong, guys. He's not super strong, but when you're coming up against the smaller strikers, it's more than enough to get onto them. It's when you come up against those bigger strikers, maybe slightly stronger strikers, like Ante Rebic, for example, gave me a bit of trouble with him. But otherwise, you can just see here, it's so easy to maneuver around with him, to dribble around in the box, to get good passes off, things like that. Gosens really does provide a great alternative just for a centre back, as opposed to your traditional either big centre back who's just so wide he can catch everything, or your other centre backs who are super quick and agile. He's a good halfway house in between those two. The fact that he's left-footed as well means that you can play him on the left side of your defence too. He also has, because of his speed, I played him in a 3-5-2 and he was more than adept there as well. In this game here with the green tops, which you'll see recurring clips of, this was against Eto'o, Neymar, Ronaldo and Eusebio, and he was absolutely unbelievable in this game. Contained them all pretty well with Sol Campbell, showed a lot of aggressive pushing. You see in there, again, he gets tight to the man, you can push up with him and really get on the attack, create chances with him as well. Again, clean tackle there, and once you get going with him, you can start to maraud forward even as well, because he's got that capability to play passes, dribble between the lines and things like that. Again, here an example of his pace, that's against Eto'o, a nice little tracking back run there. Not afraid to get stuck in with him as well. Again, that's against a weaker player, so the strength isn't so much of a factor. This block was absolutely unbelievable, guys. I couldn't believe he made that block. Overall, just sensational on the defensive end. Again here, go out with him, be aggressive, tackle, and then another interception there, and playing the ball out beautifully there. The last couple of clips, guys, I've just got some marauding runs for you. He's more than capable of playing in CDM as well. He's got that technical capability. He's a bit slow on the agility side, but overall his dribbling and passing is really, really good for this card. And the last clip here, again, you can see there's no options on. I'm just going to drive out the defense with him and run through there. So guys, getting into the final Robin Gosen's review, this is of course the German centre-back from Atalanta in Serie A, so you've got some nice linkability options, we'll get into that in a second. Currently selling for 70k on the PlayStation, 56k on the Xbox, so fairly cheap for this guy. Not too expensive. I did of course get him as an untradeable in my party bag, so lucky me. 6 games played, 3 clean sheets, no assists, no goals. Again, primarily using him as a centre-back. I used him in 1 game at DM. He was more than capable of being there. The biggest part of this card, guys, is his physicality. Other than his strength, which is a little bit of a letdown against the bigger, stronger strikers, he is absolutely sensational, this card. I loved using him every second, and running after opponents was really good. Chasing them down, he's more than capable of keeping up with the quick strikers and taking 1 or 2 bites out of them to try and get the ball back. I put the agility as a con here. Purely because if he's going to be that mobile in the rest of his game, I would like his agility to be a little bit higher. It means that you could just use him a lot easier in that centre-back position. In terms of linkability, you've got some good links to some nice Atalanta cards. You've got Gomez and Muriel. You can also go out to the Bundesliga or any other league where there are German players. You've got a Draxler card, of course, in Liga, and there's another review to that. Please do check that out. And in terms of similar players, you've got some of these ball-playing centre-backs that are a bit smaller now. Volland, Delaney, who aren't small, but they're reasonable size and good technicians on the ball. Overall, guys, would I say I would buy this card? Yeah, I would actually. I thoroughly enjoyed using him, certainly more than I did my flashback Koscielny, which I've been using steadily, I think, for about 300 games odd now. So definitely a good card. Not an elite centre-back, but just a fun card to use and a good alternative, something different to try out for your Serie A squads if you have any inclination to try something new and are getting a bit bored of the game. But yeah, that's it for the review. Hope you guys did enjoy. Please do hit that like button, and until next time, I will see you in a bit.